Hey guys, welcome back and happy Thursday. All right, guys, that was an incredible recap with Ryan Bailey. Always so much fun. He brings the energy, and I just love that guy. His personality, super infectious, and I always have the best time. With that, guys, we're back to talk about Teresa Giudice, who has been dubbed, well, the rudest person ever after a radio interview. But I have to stick up for Teresa in this, and I'll explain why. It's all over the place. The interview, I sat there and I listened to it. I didn't think I didn't think it was rude. I think that the question and the way it was worded was rude, but we'll get into it. So before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And with that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so thanks to Page 6 for covering this, but I love how they started out with, if you're not Namaste, get the hell out of her way. Now, Teresa, and Melissa Feaster, they have a new podcast, fairly new at this point. I mean, it's still new, called Namaste Bitches, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying them together. I've had Melissa Feaster on our channel over here, and then on top of that, I met Teresa at BravoCon, and she was super sweet, but this Boston radio personality, Billy Costa, is slamming Teresa Giudice as an idiot, as nothing, and a monster after she allegedly attacked him in a live interview on Monday. That's not how I saw this, though, but I want to hear your opinions because, listen, if anything, I know that we have a lot of them. She was easily, hands down, the rudest person I've ever interviewed. The radio host said on his Billy and Lisa in the morning show after the interview ended. He even said, I didn't want to do the interview. I didn't even want to do this interview. Well, then why did you? The Real Housewives of New Jersey star appeared on the program to promote an event that she's co-hosting in Lynn, Massachusetts. However, the interview took a turn once Costa asked the Bravo star about writing her book, Turning Tables, following her 11-month prison stint in 2015. Now, sure, I guess you can ask about that, but the way that he asked it, like, it's always in the delivery, right? If you're going to be shady, expect shade back. If you're going to be nasty, 9 times out of 10, expect for somebody to match you with that sort of energy, that behavior, that reaction. It's like you have to come at people correct. And I understand, yes, she went to prison. Yes, this was on the show. But hold on, this is how he asked it. Teresa, we know you spent some time in prison, but you came out of prison and you wrote a book, a bestseller about your time in prison. And did it focus a lot on the food in prison? I mean, that's a shady as hell question, right? You're doing the interview, look into the book, right? But also, you're doing the interview, you're asking, did it focus a lot on, the food in prison? Why would it focus on the food in prison? It would more so probably focus on how this affected her, how it affected her daughters, how it affected her family, how her husband at the time got deported, how she lost her mom while she was going through all of this, how she lost time with her father, probably thinking that she hit rock bottom, not knowing if she was going to be able to come out of it, reintroducing herself into the Real Housewives. It's like, that's where my mind would go, not, Teresa, you spent some time in prison and you wrote a book, a bestseller. Did that book consist of a lot of information about the food in prison? So Teresa Giudice told the radio host that she didn't really want to talk about that. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a 4-time New York Times best-selling author. And he assured her that he did know that, okay? Then he tried to move on from the confrontation and asked about the event that she was promoting, but she wasn't ready to let it go. We're going to have a good time, and it's all about being positive, right? And not negative. You should learn some of that. I mean, she clapped back, but she met him with the energy. And he did reply that he'd work on that. One of the show's other hosts, Justin Aguirre, then chimed in and argued that they weren't being negative since her book is part of her bio, which is given, it was given to them by her publicist. I mean, it's a part of her bio. Not being negative, I don't want to sit here and straddle the fence on this, but I feel like it was the way that you're asking the question. You want that sort of reaction. There are a lot of people, it gives me sort of paparazzi vibes when the paparazzi, I remember one time, and it's one of my favorite stories ever, but when I went with Cynthia Bailey to the Mariah Carey after party, and she was walking out from Mastro Steakhouse, and I was walking right behind her, and the paparazzi were like, Mariah, what did you eat? Did you eat a couple of steaks? It looks like you ate really good. Have you put on some weight? How much weight have you put on? And I'm thinking in my head, like, this woman is celebrating a night where she performed at the Hollywood Bowl and she killed it. And she just had fun with her friends, her manager. She had so many different celebrities in the building. She was having a great time. And then that's what you say to her? Because why? You want a reaction? She didn't give a reaction, but what do you expect her to say? Mariah, you gained a lot of weight. How do you feel about that? I mean, I just think it's shitty. I have a podcast called Namaste Bitches, and you should listen to it and learn how to be a little bit more namaste. That's how Teresa responded. And after Teresa Giudice hung up following the short phone interview, the host wasted no time in sharing their thoughts on Teresa. I did time in prison too, and you said, yeah, you did time in prison, but you got out and wrote a successful book, which it was. It was a huge book. That's what the host said. While the other agreed and supported it from like a positive perspective in their mind. Now, this host also claimed that they stayed away from all of the topics that they were told not to ask about, including Teresa Giudice's strained relationship with her brother, Joe Gorga, and the hate she's received on social media for wearing Balenciaga. I don't even want a coffee with Teresa Giudice. That's what Costa said when asked if he still was planning on going to her event. Giudice has yet to obviously directly comment on any of this, and I doubt that she will, but her publicist and attorney, James J. Leonard Jr., exclusively told Page Six, I think Mr. Costa needs to work on being a bit more namaste like Teresa is. He seemed like he was looking for a confrontation or to have a moment. That's how I looked at it. I would recommend that he listen to Teresa's podcast, Namaste Bitches, so he can work on him, on himself and learn how to properly treat guests on the show. Now, Andy Cohen, for his part, addressed the controversy twice on his SiriusXM show, Andy Cohen Live, earlier this week after two viewers called in to talk about it. And he asked the first caller what the radio host asked her, since they had something, to get her to be rude. And the caller doubled down, stating that Giudice was rude right off the bat. And Andy Cohen seemed shocked, responding, that's what's happening in Boston this morning. I like it. Andy Cohen asked for more details from the second caller, and as soon as she mentioned that the host had asked about prison, it clicked for him, and he said, okay, well, there you go. I knew it, so he started with the jail thing. And if you watch the show, she talked about it multiple times, like she would tell her kids, like, mommy's going to camp. She didn't like to say prison. I think that was hard for her, but with the way that everything panned out for her, she killed it. She came out on top. But also with the way that she ended up having to go to jail for signing documents that her husband, she just blindly signed the documents. I think that's how they put this out there. Yeah, of course, she's not like, in her mind, she's probably like, I didn't even know that anything was being done wrong. And now this is looming over my head. I don't know. Guys, go ahead and comment below. Let me know your thoughts. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And with that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Love you.